Well, it made a little beep. It doesn't normally do that.
Do you have the sound on?
I don't know. I mean, normally, no.
Possibly turned up.
Or maybe I don't know. But it made a proper little like like when you watch like Pixar outtakes. yeah. Oh well, maybe that's a new thing. And also, I'm liking the height here, where you're balanced on one of our Easter eggs boxes.
It's a lovely Easter egg. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, it's.
And Andrew.
I don't know if Mark and Andrew actually see these.
Rude if they don't.
I can send them a link. I'll just send them a link to this one. You can turn off now, Mark, because you're not going to care about the rest of it. You might care about the rest of it.
Was you not watching?
I don't know. We didn't talk about that yesterday. It's me and Mark. We never
talk about anything.
There's never any structure to this. I mean, we keep saying actually what we should do is just, we should
record ourselves.
Just record us having a conversation, because that would probably be.
Hours of entertainment.
We'd probably be suddenly the #1 channel on YouTube and millionaires. We should do this. So, yes, but we're actually here to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, I'll apologise in advance. I have come down with a stinking cold. And it's not COVID. I don't have any COVID symptoms at all. Apart from, for 2 minutes, I had a bit of a temperature after I'd just taken some cold remedy. What a surprise. Hello. So, yes, if I have to go off and blow my nose, I'll do it. I apologise in advance. So we're halfway through now. We are halfway through.
No.
Are you there? That's what happened when the cat decided to sniff the Easter egg box. It shows how precarious that is balanced on the back, though. Just how far have we got?
Halfway.
I can't be asked to edit. You are not getting on this table again. Get the fuck down, shitbag. So yes, we're halfway through the series, because it's only 6 episodes, and this was the end of episode 3. That feels amazingly quick that we are halfway through already. Obviously, any further we go now, massively into spoiler territory, so now's the time to look away, if indeed you care. So, so there was not so much of the Red Hand gang this week. I won't cut that thing this time.
Because you're too ill.
No, just because I think it was funny for one episode. I'm not going to do it all the time. I may do it again in the future. I probably will do it. Just because it amuses me. I don't even watch these back, so fuck it. I don't know why I'm bothering. But not so much about them this week. There was the ginger English girl.
Yes.
Obviously a little bit to do with her. And it seems that they kind of are... It came across, if you think back to the first episode, when people were like getting messages on their mobiles to cause chaos and to steal money or whatever. So that it feels very different from then, because that felt like there was some sort of crime syndicate at the top, weaponizing like dissenting public.
Yes.
It now feels like the Red Hand gang is just these super soldiers, and there's not some big crime boss at the top of it, apart from the pawnbroker. That's not the name.
It's Power Broker.
Power Broker. So, this episode was called The Power Broker, and Sharon appears. So we've got a theory. We think Sharon is the Power Broker.
Yes.
We think Sharon's a baddie.
Or at least, I think, because one of the, I love the fact that they actually brought Madripoor in. I actually loved Madripoor more than the supposed massive twist spoiler, oh my god, at the end, which actually wasn't for us. But more on that later.
I was asleep.
But I know Madripoor from the Mutant comics, because it's one of the main areas, and it's very much the crime capital of the world, but also where a lot of kind of comic anti-heroes would go, and people who are probably antagonists rather than actual villains as such.
Looks a lot like Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, and I kind of get the vibe, especially from a lot of the stuff that kind of Sharon was sort of talking about, like during sort of the bulk of the episode, where I think she's kind of set up more where it's very much now about motivated self-interest. So I don't think she's necessarily a villain as such. I think she's basically just out for number one because of everything that's happened to her. And if that is the case, I would quite like that, because they don't do enough of that kind of sort of grey area morality for me in sort of comic books and like superhero properties generally.
So you're saying she's looking out for number one, and that's the way it is?
Yes.
Mel and Kim reference for the people out there.
For the young people.
Yeah, for the youngsters.
Who are now having to Google who the fuck Mel and Kim are.
Our 16 viewers remember Mel and Kim. They know what their song was that was released after Mel died. Or was she dead at that point? Perhaps she was about to die.
Well, if they released
she wasn't
after
in the
she died, she would have been dead at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she would. Or maybe she wasn't dead at that point. Or she was just...
you can tell he's ill.
Yeah. Oh, piss off. I liked Mel and Kim.
Respectable.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
I said it.
Oh, you said it. Oh, you finished?
Yeah.
So
that's why you started. For once, you actually waited for me to finish talking before you jumped in.
Okay.
I'm quite liking this being ill thing, because I actually get to say what I... Ooh.
It's a photo from my dad.
Yeah, sorry, it's just, we got like a really gorgeous, like, sort of neon blue. Would we say that was neon blue?
I get that whenever I'm doing something and a message comes through.
See, I didn't know that, because the first time I've seen it. It's
right.
Very pretty.
It's a whole Android thing.
It's very pretty.
So yeah, I remember some containers.
Yes.
And explosions.
Yes.
And you got excited when Baron Zemo pulled a face mask out of the...
Yes, the purple face mask, because that's basically part of his comic book outfit.
Yeah. And then somewhere near the end, I just couldn't keep my eyes open. Nothing to do with the show or the episode. I think it's just I've not slept well for a week for varying reasons. I just got
keep his eyes open.
I just sat there. He didn't notice. Basically, the final shot, I was like, "So who was that? Why is that important? Why do I care?" And he was like, "Well, blah blah blah." And I was like, "I've been asleep."
It's Dora Milaje.
Is that her name?
No, that's the organisation she belongs to.
Right. Are they the lionesses from The Lion King that's live action with people?
No.
That's what I call Black Panther.
Okay.
Black Panther was a remake of The Lion King. Seriously, look at the plot. It's there.
But they are the kings, but basically combination secret police.
Yeah. So at the end, all the lionesses go up against the evil member of the family with the true Lion King. And that happens in Black Panther too. Which is why I call them the lionesses, because I never remember the name. The
Dora Milaje.
Is that like a Dor Milano? No. What? Hey? Anyway. So was she one of the actual characters from the film?
Yes.
Because she looked vaguely familiar.
She was. I think she was...
Is she the one that's head of the... It was not the girl that's head of the guard, is it?
No, I think she's the second in command.
Right. The face was familiar, but I just didn't quite... I mean, I kind of guessed that she was possibly something to do with Black Panther, because I know all of the lionesses have the shaved head. So I thought that was probably why, but I didn't quite get the connection here. I didn't understand why it would be relevant that she'd turn up, apart from they obviously know the White Wolf.
Because Baron Zemo killed their king.
Did he?
That's like the whole plot.
In Winter Soldier, when the thing was, is that him?
When they blow up the UN.
I remember T'Chaka dying. T'Chaka,
yes, King T'Chaka.
I remember him dying because I remember thinking as soon as he appeared, well, he's got to die because T'Challa needs to be the Black Panther for the mainstream people. So I remember that.
But you didn't make that connection.
Not while watching. Probably when that film was on. Yes, I'm not really one for retaining information particularly. Or I am, but it's very peppered as to what stays in and what gets recalled. So no, I hadn't made that connection at all.
But yes, they're
so presumably they'll want to.
They want.
They want to kill Zemo. Won't
they? They want him dead.
Or at the very least, take him to Wakanda for some sort of trial. Okay. Well, I wonder if that will happen.
Well, I think what it's done, again, a very good job of, it's kind of, again, it's similar to what we got with some of the stuff in WandaVision, which is there's a lot of like world building going on. So you kind of like, we got Madripoor, which was always going to be a difficult one to kind of shoehorn into a movie. I think they actually, I can't remember whether they actually did feature it in one of the mutant. I'm sure the Wolverine had stuff that was based in Madripoor, or at least a Madripoor clone. They may have just stuck with it being Hong Kong. It's been, I think I've watched that film once. I liked it, but haven't ever watched it again.
Is that the one that has all the samurai stuff?
Yes, the one that's actually set in Japan.
Yeah.
So
I saw it once at the cinema. I don't remember.
So it's the one that actually has the Viper in it, which is like the redhead who like.
Yeah. Okay, vaguely remember that.
Yes, it was actually the one they did. I think after the god awful one that featured like Deadpool.
I only ever saw the pirate leaked version of that with all the bad effects at the end, and the film was just so shit. I didn't care.
Yeah. I mean, it did stuff. I know we've kind of massively wandered off Falcon and Winter Soldier, but you're used to that now. We kind of go off on tangents. But yeah, it was. I didn't hate it. It was
there.
It was a popcorn movie for me, and it was about mutants, and I'm always going to like.
Hang on, which one are you on about now?
The
Wolverine or the Wolverine?
The
Wolverine 3 this time is personal.
Wolverine Origins or whatever it was called.
Right.
The one that basically kind of introduced the whole sort of like.
Didn't it have a crap Gambit in it as well?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Sorry, actor, but not your fault. This film was terrible.
To be fair, it wasn't actually as a character. It wasn't the worst Gambit I've seen. It was.
I remember thinking the accent was about right.
Yeah, and it was fairly, in terms of the concept and the attitude, it was fairly on the ball. It's just the actual movie storyline was shit.
I mean, the biggest problem I have with Gambit is I always expect Fred Dinage to turn up. Do you know what it was like? Someone will get it. Just move on.
He must be ill. He can't be able to explain his obscure reference to me.
Just Google it later. Google Gambit and Fred Dinage. It'll come up.
Just fucking Google it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Oh, Shadow's washing Ace in the window.
Oh, bless. So, yeah, loved Madripoor. Loved, I say, all of the world. It's nice to actually see them kind of go into the whole to GRC bit. And I know you were just like, for fuck's sake, they've got a 3-word slogan. But
did Dominic Cummings write the marketing?
But I thought, again, very clever, because you could absolutely believe that was a real world organisation who would actually come up with something fucking cheesy like
Even
the 3 hours.
I do also keep thinking JRC Global Buffet down Cardiff Bay. That's that one upstairs we go to. Every time I hear it, that's just what I think of. I just think of, when they'll reopen, I could murder a Chinese.
We've got like about 6 takeaways all within.
Yeah, it's not the same
distance.
as going to an all-you-can-eat buffet, though, is it? And just having to wander around and planning your plate so you don't stack out on carbs too early, so that you manage to get 3 plates in and get somewhere near your money's worth. Look, I'm not an amateur. First plate, just meat. Just meat. Don't touch the rice or the chips. That's what they want you to do. They want you to eat the rice and chips so you're full up. Don't smash the drinks either, right? Plate of protein. That way you will get 3 plates and a dessert. They still make a ton of money on you, but, top tip there.
What?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The weird thing is I'm enjoying this series, but I'm not massively excited or loving it. Like WandaVision, I properly was like into it. This, I'm just watching it and going, yeah, this is good. I'm effectively, yeah, this is nice.
But still feeling the episodes fly by?
Yeah. I mean, they don't feel like 15 minutes, do they? Well, especially if you sleep for the last 10. But possibly 5. I do remember.
Well, I think we worked out is that it was literally probably only about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
in terms of what
I do vaguely remember him picking up that like black snooker ball thing and thinking that it looked like it had. I didn't quite clock the detail on it, but it really, really reminded me the markings of it of on a gear stick. Because it was like the first, second, third reverse thing.
Yeah. But But again, I'm sure either Paul or Matt will confirm, but I'm pretty sure they had those actually in black. Because I remember it being like the beaded necklace that some of the characters wear, and they could actually take... I think it might have been...
Shuri?
No, not sure. I'm trying to remember her name.
I'm just throwing characters out. I can remember.
It's the spy's name that begins with an N. Who's actually the main love interest for Black Panther. It's really bad I can't remember her name, which is just terrible.
Yeah, the love interest?
Yeah. Jesus, how much of this movie do you actually remember?
Right now?
Do you remember any of the movies?
I remember a fight on a train tracks. And they sort of fold in and fold out.
Yeah, that was the very end.
I remember lots of standing around in the waterfall going, ooh, 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 ooh. Remember that?
Was kind of roughly towards the beginning.
Remember that. I remember that they go to the ice people who don't normally get involved.
That was towards the end.
I remember a car chase, and was someone else driving a virtual car somewhere else? Was Shuri driving that? Was Martin Freeman driving that?
No, that was actually...
Or was that in Avengers?
That was spy character whose name I can't remember, and head of the Dora Milaje.
Right.
Whose name I also can't remember.
Because doesn't she normally wear like a... I want to say like a terracotta or a coloured...
What, the Dora Milaje?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they have like sort of a kind of terracotta red type outfit.
Yeah.
Spy character whose name begins with N, which is fucking... I should just Google it. But...
Nigella?
No.
Nora?
No. You know what, I am...
Nerys?
No, I'm going to Google it because this is going to wind me up otherwise. Especially if you're going to sit there just shouting out random N names.
I know that the end sequence post-credits thing was White Wolf. I remember that. I just remember it because it was basically the plot of The Lion King.
Nakia. Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, of course it is, yeah. Oh my God, how could I have forgotten her? Because she's awesome.
Yes, and it was Danai Gurira as Okoye.
Is that who pops up at the end of this?
No, that's the head of the Dora Milaje. There we go. Florence Kasumba was Ao. That's who popped up.
Right. Okay.
So yes. So Nakia. I mean, to be fair, she wasn't a love interest in the classic. I mean, it was very much, again, doing that whole sort of Mr. X Swerve thing. It was clear that her and T'Challa had like a romantic interest in each other in the past.
A shag.
And there were hints that it might... I don't even think it went that far.
Oh, okay.
And there were hints that it could probably go that way again, but she was very much focused on her career as being like a spy in the world outside of Wakanda. And she was always very much, I think, the radical against like the more traditionalist sort of Wakandan virtues of like...
Oh, because Tina Turner was their mother, wasn't it?
No, Angela Bassett.
Yeah, well, she played Tina Turner. In What's Love Got to Do with It?
Well, she was T'Challa's mother.
Yeah. So
she wasn't Nakia's mother.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As in, oh yeah. No, I mean, as in, like, you know, thinking of the main characters. Like,
yes, and obviously you had Shuri as well.
Yeah, Angela Bassett is awesome in
everything.
Yeah, actually, yeah. To be fair, but American Horror Story.
Angela Bassett would be awesome in.
She was great in American Horror Story Coven.
I've not seen that, so
very good in
that. But yes, again, I think. I mean, we've rambled an awful lot about very little that's actually to do with the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode, which again is not a reflection on the episode. It was absolutely solid again. It's still, I personally, I don't think it suffers from being out of sequence, because obviously we all know this was meant to be the first one, and then we start kind of going a bit like they've done in the movies, where like start simple because that's all we've got access to, and then start going out into like the wider weirdness of like the sort of, you know, the cosmology,
well, I think
the mysticism.
What they're doing though is like, so there's nothing thus far. Don't say thus enough, do we? In this,
indubitably.
See, but it's not. Okay, so there's nothing major here that would affect anything else going on. So this is presumably relatively concurrent with WandaVision. Because they both kind of pick up after the blip. Maybe later. Have another lamb sip. And
I would actually say this probably is set timeline-wise, probably a bit after. Because, because when you consider that WandaVision is probably set, I think, literally weeks after the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
This is very clearly set, the fact that, sort of Sam and Bucky have been back long enough to have kind of re-established lives, to have been, in Bucky's case, been pardoned, to have been attending regular therapy. This is probably months to a year or two, I'd say, down the line.
Yeah. But so that's the thing. Oh. So is WandaVision? I mean, I know when they look back and show you Wanda setting up Westcliff-on-Sea or wherever it is. That's the one.
See, why do I remember that? But I can't remember fucking Nakia's name.
Who knows? So that was obviously like more or less instantaneously afterwards. But you don't know how long she's had that reality going. I never got a sense that it was hinted that it was followed straight in, but I don't think that was necessarily the case.
I don't think it was a lot. I think you're probably talking a maximum of weeks rather than months, though.
But I don't think Walton and the Falcon Soldier. Oh my god!
We should do more videos when you're sort of ill and on medication.
Yeah, probably. I don't get the idea that the Waltons is set that far down the line, only because of the whole. Sam is only now going to the bank to ask for an application form. Have you got a credit card? No, but I could go to the bank and I could get an application form.
But the thing is, that's why I think it's set probably months afterwards.
Right.
Because obviously, they were both blips.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a certain amount of fallout from that.
What am I doing here? Where am I? What's that?
There's also going to be all the elements of kind of getting your life back together again. Because they're both, obviously in Sam's case, he's an Avenger. Actually, think about it, Sam needs to be pardoned as well, because obviously he was on the wrong side of the Civil War dispute. He was actually on the right side.
Cap's never on the wrong side, because Cap stands up for good.
Yes, obviously you have the whole stuff with Sam with Bucky as well. I would probably say it's been at least probably 4 to 5 months. And that's why I get the impression with sort of Sam's family stuff, that's, he's now only getting to grips with that, because obviously he's been so focused.
Don't even.
He's been so focused on kind of sorting his own life out and his Avenger status out, and obviously sorting out what to do with the shield and yada yada yada. You can't see it, but the two shadows are basically handbags at dawn at the moment.
The pair of them were like this. Oh, it's a shame I can never get that on camera, because it is hilarious when they do it.
Fucking children.
Because female shadow will be right in, and male shadow will be going back.
But yeah, so I think we're probably a few months now. So they're kind of over the worst of the blip, but obviously they themselves, as we know from Bucky's counselling sessions, they're still. I'm so sorry, I'm boring you. Rude. So Bucky's basically still obviously coming to terms with a lot of stuff. Not just the whole. Yeah, I've been to Wakanda. I'm great again. Yay! Happy Tree Friends. No.
I've shown you Happy Tree Friends. You know how that ends.
Well, maybe they are Happy Tree Friends then.
In which case, one of them's about to get disemboweled.
Oh, my money's on Bucky, because he can afford to lose now.
Yeah.
Just fucking reattach it. Boom.
I thought you could say you could take a good length up the house.
Oh, someone's feeling better.
No.
No.
Are we done?
I think probably
5 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, all right. See you next week, kids. Probably see him tomorrow for Drag Race. I haven't done Drag Race for 2 weeks.
Yes, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, we're over it. But we might do one tomorrow.